Hello, Toyib. Good evening.
Yeah, hello, Fafa, good evening. So just give me a minute, let me share my screen. Okay, hi, Fafa, please confirm that you can see my screen.
Hello, Toyib. Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you very much. So, so, sorry for that, a little bit of that. So, good day, everyone. Welcome to today live session on which cybersecurity career is best for non-techies. So today I'm so excited to have like everyone here. My name is Tohib Jimo, and also, like I said, today will just be a session on which of these cybersecurity careers is best for what every one of us here. And I'll be guiding you through today's session. And I'm also with one of my colleague here, which is Elizabeth Nana, which will be speaking to you shortly after I've spoken to you. But before we dive in, so let's just break the ice here. And like I said, my name is Toib Jimo, and from Lagos, Nigeria. Here, so let's break the ice here. Let me know where some of my people, all of my people are joining from, because we've had sessions where we have individuals from UK, Canada, Nigeria, US, even the Asia, from Asia, basically. So I want to see how global like everyone is. Let's see where we are joining from and how it is. So just drop in the comment section here so I can see what where each and every one of us what is joining from. So I'll be in the comment section looking out for everyone. So let's just do that. Okay, I'm still waiting. Uh, okay, I think I can see some of us. Okay, I can see Eunice from Canada, Rodri from UK, Stella from Kenya. Okay, okay, what about the rest? Okay, I can see like a whole lot of people here. We have like almost 20 people. So, okay, I can see someone from Nigeria also. I mean, is it that we don't want to drop where we are calling from at the moment? Okay, now I think I'm seeing more people, Nigeria, Kenya, Canada. All right. Thank you very much, everyone for that. So that's just basically, I just wanted to start off with a strong foot on knowing where each and every one of us is coming from. Okay, I can see Bemi from UK joining us from the UK. So once again, welcome everyone, and was very delighted to have every one of us here. And we hope you're able to gain a whole lot from this session. So going forward, So going forward, I know that some of you already know about Analytics. You already know who we are. You heard of us briefly, or just even a little about us. So just to make the little information that you know about us, just for me to elaborate more on who we are, what we are doing, and how we're able to be of benefit to you. So a quick introduction is what we are Analytics, as you all know, and we are what a leading educational technology company that is focused on providing specialized training in technologies, skills, and delivering comprehensive data consulting services. So, and I know that most of you have already even been seeing flyers going on about us or celebrating 5 years. And yes, it's true. We have like over 5 years building. We've been in this sector of the industry, building the talent for technology workforce. We have helped over 3,000 people transition from the classroom into their first job in tech across UK, US, Canada, Europe, Africa, Asia, and just like that, we've helped over 3,000, like I said. So now I want you to know that we are committed to making the technology sector more accessible through premium experimental training in data analytics, cybersecurity, business analytics, agile project management, and so on. So now you might be wondering like what makes us different and all of that, because our training are practically hands-on. And when I say hands-on, we train you like you're in the real world there, like you already on your job. So, and also another thing that you should know is that our instructors are from they work in global companies such as Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and McKinsey. So everything that you learn is what companies are actually looking for right now. So here is our mission basically, is to make tech sector accessible to people from all background, which includes you. So you don't have to worry from, oh, I'm from this background, I don't think I can go into cybersecurity, or I don't think I can go into tech. So we've got you covered. That's basically what we are trying to let you know here. And you know that I've been speaking since, so just a little about me so you get to know me more. My name is Toib Jimo, and I'm senior cybersecurity associate here at Analytics. And basically, my experience spans across everything IT, infrastructure, cloud security, penetration testing, security operations, even down to digital forensics. So, but let me tell you something. What I am most passionate about is helping people without tech background to move into cybersecurity, or basically move into tech. And in fact, I personally have guided over 100 individuals with no prior tech experience, but into cybersecurity careers, and many of them which started exactly like where you are. So when I say you don't have a thing to be worried about, I definitely mean it. So like I said, many of them were started from where we are today. So I know you are curious, maybe a little even uncertain, but I'm ready to take you like on the ride, like on the journey on this. So trust me when I say that if they could do it, definitely you can also do it. So from the beginning of my when I was introducing myself briefly before, I said I was going to be joined by a colleague of mine. Her name is Elizabeth Nana, And let me tell you a little bit about Elizabeth now, which will be speaking to you later on, much after I've spoken to you. So Elizabeth Nana is a product manager and a senior project management manager, and also a clarity coach at 10 Analytics here. And she has like half a decade of experience in product and project management. And that's not all about it. Elizabeth is also a skilled leader and coach for agile teams, and she has consistently driven impactful results across. So as a clarity coach, she also helps aspiring professional gain direction, confidence, and also actionable steps to transition into rewarding tech careers. And that's not all about Elizabeth. Elizabeth has also trained over 1,000 professionals across 4 continents with our experience. And because our experience spans across multiple sectors, which includes healthcare, fintech, and edutech, that's to show you that you have somebody to speak to that is also coming from your background. That's to show you that that's how grounded she is, and where she has applied all of this knowledge that agile methodologies would deliver value for and transformation, basically. So that's that about my amazing colleague Elizabeth that will be joining us today. And now I know that you might be wondering that, okay, what will today cover? What will you be learning today? So this is what today's session is basically going to cover, and I promise to make it as simple as possible, and also very interactive. Because first we'll talk about cybersecurity specializations for non-techies. That is, this is where I will show you how people from backgrounds like you, backgrounds like business, law, healthcare, or even education can transition into cybersecurity. And secondly, we'll go into the pathway of becoming a cybersecurity analyst. So I want you to think of this like a roadmap that will guide you, that will take you on steps on, okay, this is what I need to do, and this is where I need to start from, because I have zero tech experience. And thirdly, what's also going to touch on 10 Analytics growth internship program. That is, this is where learning basically meets real world, where you get to apply all of the skills that you've learned here. You get to put that on more hands-on work, because that really sets you ahead when you go out there in the society. And finally, we got like a special discount for everyone, just for everyone, every attendee here that has joined this session today. So whether you are from business, law, education, healthcare, or something totally different, you will walk away today. I'm confident to tell you that today you will walk away with knowing exactly where you are going to fit in this cybersecurity space, basically. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And now I want to take you on just a little journey before we start exploring all of the exciting careers that we are all here to transition into, that we want to know about. Let's lay the foundation, because there's no point going into careers if you don't understand the foundation. That is, what exactly is cybersecurity? Let's start from there. So here is a quick one. So do you know that when you with your phone, when you lock your phone, you can either lock it with a pin, a face ID, or a fingerprint. That's basically what confidentiality is. That is, just only authorized individuals are to get access to a particular information, a particular data. That's basically what confidentiality is. Just see it as as your lock screen, as your face ID before you open your phone, as your PIN, as your fingerprint. That's what I want you to know what confidentiality stands for. And next thing is integrity. Now imagine you are transferring money from your bank. That is, you want to transfer 10,000 naira, and your bank app shows you that you have you want to transfer 10,000 naira out of 100,000, and your bank app now shows you that you have 80,000. So you can see that that's not what is balancing. So what makes integrity special is that if you are transferring 10,000 naira, because you have 100,000. So out of the 100,000 you are transferring, out of the 10,000 you are transferring out of your what 100,000, you should have what 90,000. So what integrity basically states is that what anything data in motion or at rest should be what secured. That is, nothing should be what should alter. So that's why the money in your bank, when you send it, your balance, when you do the calculation from your head, your balance should still remain what your balance. And lastly, we have what availability. So lastly, we have what availability. So availability just basically means information and data should be what ready whenever you use it. So basically, what I'm trying to say with what cybersecurity is what cybersecurity stands basically on three things: confidentiality, integrity, and what availability. So all of these three things, they need to what be in place for you to what satisfy what cybersecurity is. For cybersecurity to stand, these three pillars have to what stand, and they each what have what each roles for them to play basically. So that is that about the foundation of what cybersecurity, what it is, and basically what it stands on. And I know now that let's take a pause here and ask the big question: why should anyone, or no matter their background, why should you consider cybersecurity? So here is one thing I love asking before we even go too much into anything. So what's your current background? Let's start from there, so I can be able to what plot each current background right now to what their dream cybersecurity job. If you're in business, just say business. If you're in law, say law in the comment section, in the chat box. If you're in education, if you're in healthcare or something else, basically, let's drop it in the chat so I can see how diversify each and every one of us is here. And also that would help me to what plug you to your what future roles. So let me check the chat box to see each and every one of us background. Okay. Eunice says what? Accounting. Okay, Eunice, accounting. Augustine says healthcare. Edney says healthcare. Marata says FMCG. Demi says what? Healthcare. K says what? Medical informatics. Now, wow, I have like a whole lot of what brilliant-minded people here. So iPhone says education. Okay, Rodri says what? Administration, pen testing. Okay, seems Rodri already has like a direct part that he or she wants to focus on. Now I can see Kolawale saying what? Solomon. Okay, in as much as what we are both using, everyone is using what the chat box to communicate about their current background right now. So I want you to watch out for my colleague. They'll be dropping a couple of links in the chat box. So you should we employ you to fill all of those forms for you to have access to the material I'll be using here, and also to have a recording to this session so you can fall back on it if you have any other thing that you need clarity on. So they'll be dropping the link. I'm sure you would have been seeing it. So Adetomiwa says what? Student studying computer science. Now, excellent. K says what? Medical what? Informatics. Bemi says what? Healthcare. Now, amazing. I can see that what we have a whole lot of what diverse sector here. So now, first, I want you to look at the number on my screen. We have what over what 3.5 million jobs worldwide that are what on field. This means that what there are what opportunities for what everyone, irrespective of your what background. That is, the demand is what higher than supply. So the demand will, and as the digital world gets bigger, there are new inventions every day. Basically, just a month ago, Microsoft and OpenAI has incorporated to command certain apps to open just from your command prompt. So as we are seeing all of this, what different initiative, different digital initiative, there are so many things on the internet now. They need what? All of these things that are on the internet now, they need what? Security. So the demand will continue what? Increasing. So by next year, there should be an increase from even these 3.5 million jobs worldwide that are what unfilled. So that's to tell you that what there is what demand, and the demand is what is just growing. It's not something that what that would stop what as soon as possible. So another thing that we should look out for is what, secondly, like I said, the demand what outstrips what supply. There's simply what aren't what enough people to fill in these roles, which is what where you come in, because companies are not just looking for what the technical skills or coders or you can write code and all of that. They need people with what wide range of skills. They need people what like you that are coming from backgrounds that what can reflect on their organization, that can help them what move forward. And thirdly, why cybersecurity is for everyone, which brings us to the third point, because skills from what diverse background, like I said, it matters like a whole lot. You might think that, okay, because I'm in healthcare, it doesn't matter, but not yet. I don't want you to decide that yet, because I'm going to show you how what all of these things matters, because maybe you've worked in like business, education, law, and like I said, even healthcare. All of these experiences, you can translate them into what cybersecurity, because you bring perspective that pure tech people what they don't have. You bring that perspective to them, which is something what organization are what looking for. It's something what that they are what looking for what everywhere. Okay, I can see Docker saying what customer service. Yeah. So all of those things are what they are what looking for. And trust me, I'm going to show you how what all of these things what play out. So now this is where we get to now break down all of these roles, and yeah, like some of the common what cybersecurity roles. But let me explain in simple terms how you should relate to them. Now, firstly, I have what information security what analyst, as you can see on my screen. Think of this person as a what security guard of your company what data. That is, they monitor, investigate, and also what they protect what system. And we can all see what this information security, even in organization that some of us are working, you can see that what you have cybersecurity analyst, you have what information security analyst. Yes, this is what they do. And it's something that what Analytics can help you build on, that you can also become yourself. And secondly, we have what security compliance what analysts. They have basically like the what rule enforcers. That's basically what they are. They make sure that what a company is following the laws and the regulatory body that is what gathering it, most especially security wise. So that's what a security compliance analyst, that's what they do. And thirdly, we have what security awareness and what training specialists. Now, you know where I said what, even if you have what education background, you fit in here. So these security awareness training specialists, they are basically like the teacher of cybersecurity, because they train staff so people don't fall for scams and or phishing emails, basically. And I know that most of us, we've come across people trying to lecture you on how to be conscious in security wise, basically. So this is what they do. They are specialists about all of those things. And fourthly, we have what junior penetration tester. I know somebody mentioned that what penetration tester, that he already made his mind about what penetration tester. And what do? These are basically like what ethical hackers. They break into system, but what legally. Don't forget that. So the company knows what to fix, or where they are lacking, or where they can improve on. So that's what junior penetration testers. That's what they do. That's what they do. So, and next we have what IT auditor. So an IT auditor is basically like the inspector. Like they check everything. They check for systems, policy, and even processes to make sure that what you are following what the right path to do what something. And also, in as much as what they are telling you to follow the right path, they are also they are leading you in the direction to do all of these things what securely. And next we have what privacy analysts. Now, what do privacy analysts do? They are like the what data protector. They ensure that what personal information like customer data, or even in the healthcare industry, like what patient data, they ensure that what all of these things is what saved and what handled what correctly. And you can even see that what the average salary for this privacy analyst is what $76,000. That's the average for a privacy analyst. And you can see from the ones that what I have mentioned before, you can also see their average um average salaries from my screen. And next we have what SOC analyst, which is the full form for what security operations center what analyst. And what do they do? These are basically like the first responder. They are like the guys in the forefront, like the guys you send to what to war in cybersecurity. They are the one. They are like the first face of what receiving a threat. They are the ones who sit in front of screen, watching the alert, jumping in when threat what pops up. Yet that's the work of a SOC analyst. And the average salary for a SOC analyst is what $70,000 to what $80,000. So that's what a SOC analyst, that's what they do, and that's how much you can earn as a what SOC analyst. And next we have what network what security engineer. For a network security engineer, I like to call them what architects, because what they build and what maintain secure network. Because how are you able to communicate on the internet in your organization, and how are you able to do that what securely is the work of a what network security engineer. And then on the average, a network security engineer earns what 90,000 annually. So that's the work of a security engineer. And onto the next one, we have what incident response, what responder, what analyst. So in cybersecurity, we like to call these guys what firefighters of cybersecurity. That is, when a company is hacked, they jump in and put out the fire, basically. So they contain the damage and also what investigate. Then they okay, this is where we should improve on and all of that. And an average salary for an incident responder is what $105,000 to $116,000 annually. And lastly, we have what entry level what security consultant. They are basically like what the advisors. They are the one that advise what the board of directors. They guide companies on the best step for them to secure themselves. Basically, okay, do this way, do this that way. And trust me, you even have what entry level positions for this. So you are not what left out. So now let me come back to you guys, my people here. So after walking you through all of these things, and after what you've seen, how it works, what they do, and what they earn, basically looking at the list, what role sounds more what exciting to you? Is it compliance? Is it junior penetration tester? Is it SOC analyst? Is it information security analyst? So communicate with me in the chat box. Let's see. Let me know what sounds exciting to you. So I'll be in the chat box looking out for that. Okay. Is it SOC analyst? Is it entry level? Okay, Taiwo, yeah, I'm going to get to GRC. I'll get there basically. Don't worry, Taiwo. I'm going to get there. So GRC is just basically governance, risk, and compliance. So you're guiding the organization. You're making sure that what they follow the right standard in securing their board with all of these things. So I'm not yet seeing what roles you guys would like to venture into according to like what you think is more exciting to you. So Taiwo, are you saying GRC? Where is everyone? Where is Rodri, Dorcas, Adetomiwa, K, Demi? Where is everyone? So let me see your answers. Basically, GRC. Okay, Demi says GRC and SOC analyst. That's good. Okay, Tolu says cybersecurity. Okay, what part of cybersecurity, Tolu? So let me know which one like seems exciting from you to you with what I've said. Okay, iPhone says IT auditing. Oh, I wish I knew your name so I can I would not have to call you iPhone. So another iPhone says pen testing. Okay, Adetomiwa says pen testing. Yeah, that's good. So Adetomiwa seems like someone that likes to what break into things but legally. So Taiwo says, as an account officer, what is the perfect way to transition into? I mean, Taiwo, you were asking me about GRC analyst. So As an account officer, you can also what look into that, and you can also look into what IT auditor, basically, because as an IT auditor, you get to what do balance and checks, which is something that what you are familiar with already. Do you understand me, Taiwo? So Tolu says SOC and what information specialist. That's good. So Tolu, I from what you said, I can guess that what you are somebody that what that you're basically like a defender, because that's basically what the SOC analysts do. Olumide says information security. Okay, Odoka says something funny. They all seem scary for me, and they are big for me. Trust me, they aren't big for you. They aren't big. Okay, I know Dorcas has like a customer service background. If I'm right, if I can recall, that's what, yes, customer service background. So for somebody like Dorcas that's coming from a customer service background, she can communicate. She already has that communication skill. It's something you can do. You can venture into security awareness and training. You can train people on what, how to secure themselves. Trust me, there's no standard organization out there that isn't what teaching or what making awareness easy for what for their users. So that's something you're part of, like the people that would, oh, okay, let's conduct like a phishing email and all of that. So yes, I get you, but it's not something that you cannot do. So I can see John says what security compliance analyst. Yeah, that's good. And Kolawole says what information security analyst or auditor. So yes, I understand that what each and every one of us, we've now picked interest, which is something that I like. And what most people tend to struggle with is when they are going to cybersecurity is what they tend to what pick from everywhere instead of what focusing on one part that what you are supposed to what focus on, which will give you like a better edge. And trust me, it's not bad for you to like pick from each and every one of this domain, but it's the best for you to also have a domain that you're going to what focus on, so you don't spend too much time on what you're not supposed to spend too much time on. Now let's go to something else. How what this is something, this is my favorite part basically. So depending on your background, there's a natural fit for you, like I've been saying, because I mean now we've played like a quick game. We can see that for some of us in healthcare, we can work on what data protection. We can be a privacy analyst. For somebody like Dorcas, that is a customer service person, she can go into what awareness. So basically, you need to what have a way to what connect all your background to what you're doing. Your background is what, it is not a waste here. It is basically what an edge for you. It is basically an edge for you. For Taiwo, that is an accountant, this is the right time for you to what you can go into what IT auditing, where you check for like their security leaks, or you can even go into what GRC. So this is an avenue for you to start seeing your background as something that is what, as a catalyst basically, that would help you what boost your career in cybersecurity. Because if you're in law, you can go, if you have a law background, you can go into what cyber law, compliance, and all of that. And if you have like an education background, security awareness. If you're somebody that would communicate, security awareness also. If you're in business and what finance, like I said, GRC is there for you, risk management is there for you. And for our healthcare, we have what you can be a privacy officer. Basically, you'll be keeping what all of this data what safe. I mean, cases what medical informatics. So you can venture into what privacy officer basically. And like I always say, it is an advantage for you. It's not a disadvantage because you don't have a tech background. Because what you have from where you're coming from would what help you. Yeah. Okay, once again, this is a reminder that what my colleagues will be dropping certain link in the chat box. So do so to what fill it so you can have what the material I'm using for this session and also to the recording in case you want to go over it what again. Now, on to the next one. like I've been saying since, you might think what I've just been saying a whole lot of this, but I just want to emphasize on it. Let's talk about your skills because many people worry, oh, I don't have technical skills, so I can't do what cybersecurity, which is a myth. It is wrong because cybersecurity also needs what strong communication skill, strong problem solving. Are you able to solve this? Are you able to communicate like Dockers would do to the users? Because communication matters a lot. Are you a problem solver? Do, do, do you pay attention to detail? As somebody working in finance, how well do you notice things? What are your critical thinking skills? Can you document all of these things? So I want you to think of cybersecurity as a castle. So the tech experts are like the walls, but people like you are those who write the rules. People like you are those who add more values to what to cybersecurity because what you have other skill that what you can what implement. So now let's go into what how do you succeed in cybersecurity without a tech degree? Now there are 4 steps. Now it's all like it's all sweet to say, it's all easy, but what we have to put in the work basically. So one, we have to what cultivate what a learning mindset because you have to be curious. I always tell my participants, I always tell people I talk to, people I mentor that what you have to stay curious. You have to learn because that way you are able to what gain more knowledge. And secondly, what you have to what gain what practical experience, which is what we teach here at analytics, which is our main strong point here, practical experience. Because we give our participants a whole lot of what industry standard what projects. Because having a portfolio that is stacked with projects, which is one of the things that we are big here at analytics. You can, if you have any friend here that is here at analytics, ask your friend for his portfolio. You would see what he covered or what he has covered, he or she has covered, basically. And next thing is what learn to build your what network, connect with professionals and even with what communities, connect with also what people that are just starting, which because it's going to help you like a lot because you don't know where you will get to tomorrow or who will help you tomorrow. And another thing is what stay ahead of the word curve because you have to keep learning. You have to what keep learning because the landscape, cybersecurity landscape is what is dynamic. It's not static. It is what ever changing. So to stay relevant, you have to what commit to what stay ahead. So that's that on how to what strive in cybersecurity. Now remember, the people who strive in cybersecurity, they are not always the what most technical ones. They are the ones who are what consistent what learners and problem what solvers. So that's what we need in cybersecurity, basically. Those are for the people that strive here. So I know we've all been doing talking and talking. So I want to show you like a pretty cool website, a pretty cool tool that would be using here. So just a little bit of what a taste of what you'll be seeing what out there. This is a tool that you would also be using what out there. Now, and the tool is what Shodan. So I want you to think of Shodan as a what Google for devices on the internet, basically. So you know while Google shows us like websites and all of that, Shodan shows us what webcams, it shows us what printers, it shows us what routers, it shows us what servers. That is anything connected what on the internet that what your company what that different company what has out there. That way attackers will know that what okay, this company they have this server out there, they have these things out there. This is the stack of this company. So I want you to think of it as like imagine it like you're going through what your neighborhood, and on your way going like on the road, you're able to see what every of your neighbor, you're able to see through their house. That is, their curtains are open, which exposes what their house. So that's basically what Shodan is. And trust me, this tool is not illegal because it just shows us what is already what exposed online, what these organizations, what they have online, the servers they have online, the routers they have online, the CCTVs, that they have online. Now, this is why cybersecurity matters, because so much is visible that organizations, they don't even know about. Because this Fortune 500 organization, they have a whole lot of branch, a whole lot of resources. So let me just show you what Shodan looks like basically. Let me go to my browser and show you what it looks like. So let me show everyone what Shodan looks like. So um, so basically this is like the dashboard, and the website is just shodan.io. That's basically it. And I already explained like what Shodan does basically. It just shows us what these organizations, what they have out there, what they have left like open in the open world for like what attackers to see. Now, this is just basically the interface, nothing really much here. So this is just this is like the search button where you can search for, you can see a whole lot of things basically. So I'm going to do something right now. I'm going to start searching to see everything that we can find on the internet. I'm going to start doing that. So first things first, let's search for CCTV. Let's just see the CCTV that we have around the world. So you can just see that I just put CCTV in my search bar here. You can see from on the left hand side here, you can see a total result of 3,486 CCTV that is out there. So you can see and top countries that this CCTV are located. You can see Indonesia here with 1,000 plus, Thailand here with 500 plus, United Kingdom here with 243, Bangladesh here with 136, United States here with 126. So this just shows us all of this CCTV are what you can have access to, because these are like their IP address. And when I mean IP address, what I mean by that is this is how you can interact with them on the internet. So for just study purpose, I'm not going to be interacting with all of this CCTV. I'm just going to be showing us what we can find on the internet. So you can even see like the details about some of this CCTV. You can see this one, router OS configuration page. You can go to the configuration page of this certain CCTV if you click on it. So imagine your company CCTV. I'm able to have access to the console. So that's what all of these things says. And you can even see, if I scroll down, we'll see like different example and different things about different CCTV. So you can see this CCTV in Lithuania. You can see this. You can see the name of the CCTV, Dahua CCTV camera DH. You can even see the name, and you can see the firmware version. You can even see the serial number. These are things that they are not supposed to be on the internet, because with this firmware version, I can just Google what vulnerabilities, what can I do with this firmware version? I'm trying to exploit it. I can just tell Google to basically show me the vulnerabilities, how I can get access to this camera easily. Now, what these companies don't understand that little information out there can harm your organization. That's what they don't understand. Now, this is basically for educational purpose. So don't forget that. So there are different things that we can also search for. Apart from CCTV, we can search for remote desktop protocol. So what remote desktop protocol means is you logging into a server. Like from where I am, I can log into another company server. So imagine that is being online. Imagine anybody being able to have access to a company's data. So that is what RDP means. Which is the full meaning of RDP is remote desktop protocol. And you can see so many different ones that are being found. You can see the server name here, this NGX, Ubuntu. these are things that are not supposed to be what out there. They are things that are not supposed to be what out there. And we have what a whole lot of them. We have 6,281. And you can see the top country that has this is what United States. You can see Germany, Netherlands, Russian Federation, Hungary. And these are like the what top part of this that you can use to have access to what you can even see like a login page here. You can see for this one, see like a login page, a Windows server, basically. So you can even see the top organization that use it. You can see for Microsoft, Google, Input, Output, Flood, and Reddit, Dedis. So these are basically companies that what they have their information out there. Now, this is where you come in as a security person. You look at what do I have out there, and how can I work with it? So that's basically it. So Showdown is basically isn't just an hacker tool. Basically, it's a wake up call. It's an alert. It shows us that that cybersecurity is for what everyone, and maybe the person who helps their organization to close this curtain, to make sure that their information is not out there. Maybe that person, that could be you. Not even maybe, that could be you with the help of 10 analytics. So you might be asking, where do you begin? Now, the first step is choosing the right path, which you've done. And where you begin is with us here. And the person that my colleague will be speaking to you about how you begin and where you can learn gain all of these valuable skills. And then my colleague is here, and I've introduced that from the beginning of the session. So everyone just welcome Elizabeth Nana. Hi, Elizabeth. Are you still with us?
Hi, Toib. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good day. My name is Elizabeth. Toib, I was enjoying your session so much. I was so shocked when you called on me. Oh, wow. Thank you so much
hope you also got one or two things.
Yes, I did. I have my pen and paper here, writing things down. Thank you.
So you definitely protect us at 10 Analytics.
Yes, I will. I'll try my best.
All right, then. So right on, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much. So you can stop sharing your screen now. Before Tohib just, stops sharing his screen and turns off his camera, if you learned one or two things from everything that he has walked us through, I want you to put your favorite emoji in the chat, please. I mean, it's not easy. Shodan, this is the first time I'm hearing of it, and I took it down. So definitely will come in handy when I need to do some things, just kidding. But put your favorite emoji in the chat box. I'm watching. Let's just try to encourage Tohib. It's not easy to come here and share knowledge. Thank you, Olumide. That name sounds very familiar. Thank you. And if you need a replay of this session, if you would like to have access to this session is recorded, by the way. And if you'd like to have access to this session as well as, Tohib's slide and my slide that I'll be showing you shortly, please make sure to fill the attendance form that my colleague Ulwashe just dropped in the chat. That's the only way we'll have your details. And that's how we'll be able to share the slides with you. All right. So how do you get started? I mean, Tohib already covered this. The very first thing you want to do, which a lot of us here have done, is to select the right career path. All right. That's the very first thing you want to do. You want to select, you want to zero down and say, you know what? I want to take cybersecurity. This is where I want it. Now, it doesn't matter your background. I'm very happy, Tohib touched on that as well. Whether you're coming from an educational background, I saw Dorcas earlier talking about how she was scared. She's coming from customer service and she was scared of cybersecurity. It just sounded very big to her. Now, it doesn't matter your background, right? You just need the guidance, the proper guidance to help you get started. So whether you're coming from a finance background, a law background, customer service, educational background, even healthcare, right? You're able to make that transition, seamlessly. Now, what are the in-demand career paths? I mean, at this point, we all know, but a lot of people are also scared because of all the buzz around AI right now. Everybody's talking about AI this, AI that. So people want to know if cybersecurity is also a safe field, because there's something that a lot of people are doing, if there's no AI attached to the role, they feel like, okay, this role is not safe. Now we take a look at the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report for 2025. Now, this was a report that was put together by the world leaders. You have people like Elon, this was a report that they actually had to sit down together. They do this every single year. They analyze the job markets, they look at jobs that are growing and jobs that are declining and they provide or prepare a report. Now, this report is available to anybody on the web. You can go on your browser, go on Google right now, put in World Economic Forum Future of Jobs Report 2025, and you'll see it. All right. Now, I also have the report linked on my slides right now. So if you don't want to go that route, just make sure to fill the attendance form. Once you get my slides, all of these resources, everything that I'm talking about, you find them linked here. All right. Now, the World Economic Forum also highlights cybersecurity as one of the growing jobs. And like, Tohib rightly mentioned, which I'm going to be talking about in coming slides, there is a skill gap currently, and that is something that we can leverage on. There is a skill gap in different regions all across the world. They're looking for cybersecurity analysts because a lot of people sort of shy away from it. People have that misconception, and just like Dorcas, they say, "Oh, it sounds a little bit too big for me. Let me go for something else." And that is creating an enormous skill gap, all around the world. Now, according to Axios and Cybersecurity Job Outlook, the US cybersecurity job listings jumped 12% from May 2024 to April 2025. All right, let's just give or take 1 year. In 1 year, the job listings jumped 12% with over 514 roles posted. Yet, there was only enough qualified professionals to fill 74 out of every 100 jobs. Now, what does that mean? Again, we talk about the skill gap, right? They had so many job listings, but out of every 100, imagine 514,000. Now, out of every 100 job listings out there, only 74 people were qualified enough to fill those roles. Right. So that leaves us with a deficit of about 26. Out of every 100 jobs, you have 26 roles that go unfilled. Now, globally, the shortfall remains staggering as well. There is currently a shortage of 4.8 million cybersecurity professionals. That's where you come in. All right. There is currently a shortage of 4.8 million cybersecurity professionals. And it's not just about the numbers. There is also that capability gap. Have you been able to build capacity? It's not about just calling yourself a cybersecurity analyst. Do you have what it takes? Because it is, a very highly rewarding career, but it's also quite tasking. Now, do you have what it takes? Are you ready to get in there and get the skills? Now, it's not about taking one online course, watching a couple of videos on YouTube. Have you tried your hands with different tools to work on projects so that you can show and defend everywhere? Now, Tohib said something very interesting, was talking about portfolios. Now, do you have what it takes to build a portfolio? How's your project in a portfolio to be able to show that, yes, I am capable, I've worked with XYZ tools, right? Now, across businesses, 87% have experienced a breach within the last year, with many losing over $1 million due to lack of skilled cybersecurity staff. Now, you can see the report is also linked here on my slide. All right. Now, what this means is that over the last year, a lot of businesses all around the world, suffered a breach. Hackers came in and stole sensitive information, came in and stole money. Now, that's because they did not really have skilled cybersecurity staff. Now, what companies like that are going to do is that they're going to try to beef up their security. And when we say beef up security right now, we're not about having outside. No, now we need to go digital. All right. And right now, as I speak to you currently, November 2025, we have 3.5 million job openings for cybersecurity professionals worldwide. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that there is an untapped market. Okay. There is an untapped market in the cybersecurity space, which is something that you can get into. Now, why does this matter to you? Again, demand is surging and the supply isn't keeping the pace. Now, for people who studied economics, or at least the popular phrase is the law of supply and demand, basically. Now, the demand is going really high. The demand is right here, and the supply is right here. It's not quite meeting up. So again, it just shows that you could be among the first, to fill key high impact roles all around the world. All right. Now, the industry also recognizes skills over credentials. Yes, credentials are important in cybersecurity, right? But, the industry recognizes skills. Again, that's where your portfolio comes in. Are you able to show proof of your work? We call it evidence. Are you able to show that evidence that you know exactly what you're doing? Because a lot of people just go around gathering certificates and they don't have the skills. So organizations and also the industry at large want to see your skills, right? Signaling the perfect moment for people like yourself, people like Dorcas, self-starters, Olumide, career switchers, or, bootcamp graduates to shine. Now, employers are investing in talent development and retention, making early roles more secure and rewarding. So you don't even have to get in as a senior. Now, a lot of employers right now, all around the world, are hiring entry level staff. You start as a beginner, you start as a junior, and then they're ready to pump money into you and train you to become a senior, get into a senior role or fill those shoes. So you just know that even as a beginner, this is something that you can get into as long as, once again, you have the skills. All right, now let's just move on. What skills do you need exactly? I've been talking about skills. I probably mentioned skills like 87 times in the last 10 minutes. What skills do you need to secure a job now or in 2020 in cybersecurity? Let's take a look. Now, Tohib was speaking earlier about the teams in cybersecurity, even though he did not expressly, mention that. I think he was leaving that to me. So I'm going to break down, the different teams we have in cybersecurity. Now, I do that. I had a couple of people talking about the career paths they'd like to get into, the field of cybersecurity they'd like to go to. Also, because I was looking in the chat when those questions. Look at Dorcas. I think she's happy that I'm calling her name. So a lot of people were quiet because we have quite a number of people, So what I want you to do, if you don't know the exact to get in security, because it's broad, right? Now you don't know the exact, I want you to put a number in the chat exactly you want to get into. So I know if I should go ahead to explain. So put a number 3 in the chat. But if you already know what you want to do, put a 1 in the chat. It's awfully quiet. Does this mean everybody already knows what they want to do? Okay, Bemi says 1. Fantastic. Bemi already knows what she wants to do. Anyone else? Doka says 3, HP 1, iPhone 1, Michael 5. Michael is completely clueless, and that's fine. Adetomiwa 1, TA 4. Okay, another absolute beginner, and that's wonderful. Now that's why we're here. So what I'm going to do very briefly, I'm going to break it down. Now we have 3 teams in cybersecurity. We have the red team. Let's see. I still say a couple of people put in the chat. So we have the red team in cybersecurity, we have the blue team, and then we have the purple team. Now, those are the 3 teams that we have. And generally, when we talk about cybersecurity analysts, I love to refer to them as the digital security guards, right? I mean, cybersecurity, they're the ones in charge of just making sure, and they play a very crucial role, by the way. I think I've been able to establish that with my previous slides. They play a very crucial role, and they are the ones in charge of protecting or securing, safeguarding the organization's computer systems, networks, and so on and so forth from external cyber threats. So you never want to have instances where hackers are able to get into the system and steal a lot of money from the organization, stealing patient information for people in healthcare, stealing sensitive information, right? That is the sole job of a cybersecurity analyst. It doesn't matter, where you fall, whether you are in the red team, you're in the blue team, or you're in the purple team. It does not matter. Your major job is to protect your organization. Now, there are different ways the different teams protect. But of course, at the end of the day, it all boils down to one thing. You are protecting your organization from external attacks. Now, let's talk about the first team in cybersecurity. That is the red team. Now, when we talk about the red team, we're talking about the attackers, right? The people who try to, there's a word for it. It's called ethical hacking, right? People who try to break into or attack the systems or the networks of an organization. Now, again, ethical, okay, with the permission of that organization. All right, these are people, I mean, when you think of red, I want you to think of offense. These are people that are on the offensive, people that are trying to break in, right, break into the system. Now, an example of the the career paths that we have, or the fields that we have under the red team, we have the pen testers. So I saw a couple of people say they're interested in penetration testing. We have the exploit developers. These are the people that try to write scripts to exploit a system to see if they're able to break in. Again, remember, offense, right? The right team. And then we have the social engineers, the kind of people that will try to send what we call phishing emails, right? Phishing emails to maybe employees in an organization to trick them into clicking on a link. You click on that link and the information that they're able to just hack into, they're broken into the system once you click on a link. Now, again, remember that this is ethical. So what a lot of organizations do is that they engage the services of these people, these different professionals I just mentioned, the exploits developers, the penetration and vulnerability testers, as well as the social engineers to come and test their systems. All right. Now, say, for example, there is an organization right now building a large system, and they're about to go out to the public. So they're about to make the system open to the public. Now, this system already contains a lot of patient information, sensitive data that they don't really want to get out there. Now, the logical thing for an organization that is safety and security conscious, the first thing they want to do is they want to hire someone like a penetration and vulnerability tester, for example, right, to come and try to break into their system, to try to hack into their system, to tell them if their security is strong enough, to identify the vulnerabilities in that system. So now they're giving the penetration tester, permission. They're signing the contract and telling them, you have permission to try to hack into our system. Now, what they're trying to do here is they want to get a report from that professional. So you, as the penetration tester, you try to hack into the system, note the vulnerabilities. Oh, I was able to hack, I was able to get into your system in, less than 2 minutes. That means your system is not really safe. Now, here are my recommendations. Here are things that you can do. This is what you can close out. This is a loophole that you can close and stuff like that. Now, this helps the organization to beef up their security. Now, let's move on to the blue team. When we talk about the blue team, we talk about the defenders, all right? The blue team, they are the ones that are manning the system 24/7. For example, the SOC analysts, they're manning the systems. They are the ones preventing external hackers from getting in, the bad hackers that are not ethical, right? They're the ones, just preventing that attack from coming in or trying to defend. Now, when my colleague was talking earlier, he mentioned the incident responders, and he said, he used a very wonderful analogy, right? He said they are like the first responders, the people that are at the front lines during a war, right? The people that are at the front. Yes, incident responders. I mean, just by the name alone. So you have your SOC analysts, you have your incident responders, and you also have your, firewall or network administrators. Now, these are the people in the blue team. Then finally, we have the purple team, which is, if you know your primary colors, right, you know that when you add red and blue together, you get purple. Now, that is our specialty here at 10 Analytics. I said earlier that it's okay if you don't already know the fields that you want to get into. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? So Augustine is asking for the attendance form. Someone is going to share the link once again shortly so that you can fill it and have access to the recording of this session. Now, when we talk about the purple team, these are people who have experience in the activities of both the red team and the blue team. All right. They understand the red team. They understand the blue team. They're able to say, you know what, I have some knowledge of penetration testing. I have knowledge of SOC analysis, and so on and so forth. Right now, this is especially great because a lot of people also go ahead to register for courses because of the buzz around it. So maybe you hear that, oh, penetration testers, I'm sure I've spoken to quite a number of people that did not know that there were other fields in cybersecurity, except, or outside of penetration testing. They just thought when you say cybersecurity, oh, penetration testers. So people like that, they don't even know that there is a world, there's a field out there that you can literally leverage on, right? And sometimes they go ahead to register for programs and halfway, they realize that they're not enjoying it, all right? And your money is gone. That's the truth. Your money is gone. especially now, organizations don't just want someone who has one skill set. I mean, yes, you can't be a generalist, all your life. You're going to have to niche down into, something, a specific niche, but you should not be completely clueless about the activities of the other fields in cybersecurity. Now, that is where our cybersecurity training, Hero 10 Analytics, comes in. We understand that some people don't even know. You hear about penetration testing. Oh, I want to be a pen tester. You don't even know what it entails. And then you get in midway, you find out that you're not enjoying it or it's not for you, and then your money's gone. So in order for us to mitigate that particular risk, what we went ahead to do is we made a purple team program. All right. Now, here with our program, you're going to be learning the activities of both the red and the blue team. And then once you're done with the training, you can now say to yourself, you know what, when we were working on, when we went into SOC, when we delved deep into SOC in class, I really enjoyed it. And that's what I want to do. Or you can say to yourself, wow, when we're, treating incident response, that's what really interested me. I found that really intriguing, and that's what I'd like to do. Now, that is exactly what we are aiming to achieve with this program, and we have actually achieved with a lot of people. All right, you have the overview of the cybersecurity roles and technologies, because of course, we're going to start with introducing you into the program. You understand all the different roles, all the different technologies that the different roles use. And then we get into information security principles and risk management. Then we go into introduction to network security, threats, as well as vulnerabilities. And then SOC roles and responsibilities. That's for the blue team, like your log analysis and your NTM. Then we move on to threat detection and response. You also have incident response and threat intelligence lifecycle, all right? Then we move on to open source intelligence gathering, malware analysis, and threat actor profiling. You also get to, of course, the red team. So introduction to penetration testing, understanding everything you need to know about pen testing, vulnerability scanning, and network recon. Exploitation techniques. So if you're looking to become an exploit developer, you learn exploitation techniques. How can you exploit? How can you write scripts to exploit, different networks, right? And then you also learn governance and compliance framework. So for people who are looking to also go into GRC, this is something that you can benefit from as well, right? Compliance audits and policy development, as well as security awareness training and reporting. So it's actually a very, very robust training. And some of the tools that you'll be learning how to use, you learn your SIM tools, your Wireshark, VMware, Metasploit, Bob Suite, your Zap, your Splunk, your web check, your Microsoft Defender, and so on and so forth. Now, the timeline for this program is 8 months. Again, we want to make sure that by the time you are done with the training, right, you are fully baked, you are properly immersed in, because cybersecurity is not something that you do in 1 week or in 1 month, right? Anybody that says, give me your money, I'm going to teach you how to be a cybersecurity analyst in 1 month, that person is lying to you, and that person just wants to take your money. So it's not something that you just get into in 1 month and you're able to understand it. So the learning timeline is 8 months. You have 6 months learning in class and then 2 months of internship. Now, that does not mean that you have to wait 8 months before you can land a job. All right, that's not what it means at all. Matter of fact, we have people who land jobs while they're still in the program. But just go into it bearing in mind that the learning timeline is 6 months learning in class, 6 months of intensive learning. And then after learning in class for 6 months, we're going to move you into our partner company, which is the company in the consulting space, where you're going to intern with them. Now, you don't need to worry about the internship. We are going to take care of that for you, just to also further build your experience before you go out there in the real world. And now for the structure of the learning, right? We have a blended learning approach here at Analytics. So we have what we call the live classes that happens 2 times in a month. So 2 Saturdays out of 4 Saturdays in a month, you have a live class, all right? And then we also have 2 different timings for these live classes to accommodate the different time zones, right? So we have the morning class, which is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and the evening class, which is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. Now, beyond just accommodating different time zones, we also did this just to accommodate your work schedule, because a lot of people, you work on Saturdays, you work a shift job, maybe you work in the mornings and then you'll be back from work in the afternoon. So you might not be able to join the morning class, but you can take the evening class. So we try to make it very flexible. Now, if for any reason you miss a live class, just like this session is being recorded, all sessions, every single thing that requires you to join a meeting here at Analytics to, click on join, right, is always recorded. So if you miss it, or even if you didn't miss it, but you want to just have a replay of the session, you always have access, lifetime access to the recording of every session. Now, outside of the live classes, we have what we call self-paced learning, all right, where you get videos every single week that you can watch on your LMS. LMS means Learning Management System. So upon registration, every single participant is added to our Learning Management System, where you have pre-recorded videos with your facilitator, people like Tohib, walking you through some of these key concepts, walking you through how to use all these tools. So these are things that you can watch at your own pace. We don't want to overwhelm you and tell you you have to attend classes every day. So we want to make sure that even, when you're not attending classes, you have something to keep you occupied. You keep on studying and learning and doing your research. All right. Now, if you have questions, if you're watching videos, the self-paced videos, you have a couple of questions, that's okay. You also have 3 different avenues to ask your questions. The first is a pod. All right. The pods are really just like study groups. Now, upon registration, we separate everybody into little study groups, like 2, 3 people, because we have realized that group learning is easier, much easier than, just learning on your own, where you feel like you have people that you can ask. You can ask questions. Oh, I don't understand this. Does anybody else understand it? And then you have people that can put you through, within your cohorts. That's your peers. Now, peer-to-peer learning is always very important. That's the first avenue. Now, the second avenue to ask your questions, you also be added to a closed WhatsApp group chat with your facilitator. So if you're watching a video and you have certain questions, you don't understand something, you can just go on the closed WhatsApp group chat and tag your facilitator on WhatsApp. Okay, so what that means is you literally have direct access to your facilitator. You can tag your facilitator at, so hey, please, I don't understand XYZ. Can you explain this to me? Right? Now, that gets you fast responses. And that's the second, avenue to ask questions. Now, the third one is what we call drop-in sessions. Now, you have 2 drop-in sessions every single week. So you have one on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. West African time, and then another one on Saturday. So the Saturdays, you don't have a live class. You have a drop-in session by 6 p.m. West African time. Now, you don't have to attend both of them. All right. You can choose one, the most convenient one to attend. Now, what do you use drop-in sessions for? They're basically troubleshooting classes. They're mini classes or question sessions. You join, you're able to unmute your mic, you're able to share your screen and ask your facilitator, ask Toib, I'm trying to do this. I don't really understand it. Can you explain this to me? Or I'm trying to work with this tool. I think I'm getting an error. I think I'm not doing it correctly. Can you put me through? So you get all those drop-in sessions so that you can have the personalized guidance that you need. You always feel free to ask your facilitator questions. Now, of course, the drop-in sessions are also always recorded. Now, let's take a look at some success stories. I don't want to waste our time. If you are joining the session just before, the actual session began, you'd have seen my colleagues playing some testimonials. Now we have a lot of them. So many testimonials. I could use a 5-hour session to just talk about people that have helped transition, not just into tech, but also into cybersecurity, into different fields across cybersecurity. Let's just take a look at 2. I'll spotlight 2 and then we'll move on. So we have, we have Adetayo, right? Adetayo got a job within 60 to 70% completion rate of his program. So he had not even completed the training. Again, I don't want you to always just take my word for it. Okay. Make sure to fill the attendance form so you have access to my slides, because all these testimonials from these people, these are real people, flesh and blood like yourself and myself. You are able to watch them. They are all linked on my slide, right? You can see the where it says click here to watch. So you're able to watch them by yourself and listen to what Adetayo has to say about how the training helped him, what the training was like for him, and how he was able to secure a job, the company he secured a job with. All right. Now let's take a look at Chukwebuka as well. So we took one Adetayo and now we're looking at Ebuka. Now Ebuka wanted to move from being a solutions analyst, right? He was a solutions analyst and he wanted to move into, a cybersecurity analyst role, and he joined our cybersecurity training program. And he was able to secure a job as a security operations analyst with a company in Ireland. Again, his testimonial is linked here. You can watch what he has to say about the program as well. Now, there are literally just 3 steps in order for you to land your dream job. There are 3 steps that you have to follow. Now, these are steps that every single person, that we have trained here, the people that have success stories, these are steps that they followed. The first thing you want to do is you want to learn, right? By, of course, registering for the program, joining the training, attending classes, watching your videos, even when you can attend the class. The second thing you want to do is you want to position yourself well. Now, we're going to do 50% of this for you because we are going to be packaging you. I call it packaging, right? So we'll revamp your CV for you, right? From your second month after joining us, we ask you to submit your current CV. It doesn't matter what is on the CV, just submit it. We're going to ask you a lot of questions, and then we are going to work on the CV for you and send it back to you. Of course, we're also going to teach you how you can optimize your LinkedIn profile. You're going to have mentorship sessions. Now, when you start applying to jobs, you get an interview. We're also going to prep you for those interviews. I'm going to explain more about this in coming slides, but that's the second step, positioning yourself strategically to land a job, because it's not enough to have the skills. Oh, yes, I know how to use Shodan, just like Tahib showed us, but look at it. I just learned how to use Shodan now. So, a lot of people also would know how to use Shodan. How do you stand out? All right. That is very important. You also learn how to build your portfolio and house your project. All right. Now, the third step is to apply to jobs. You want to make sure you're applying to jobs like a machine. All right. We're also going to be sending you links to exclusive jobs that we have to pay money to get. Every single month, we have to pay money to get access to some premium jobs, and then we share the links with you so you can, apply for those jobs. Now, if you follow this 3-pronged approach, you are certain to land a job in 2026. All right, now let's just fire on. I talk about technical skills a lot. We've talked about Bob, we've talked about Kali, we've talked about Splunk, your SIM tools, your Microsoft Defender, your who.is. It's not enough. That's the truth, right? It's only 50% of what you need, which was what I was talking about when I talked about positioning yourself strategically. Now, the other 50% of what you'll be getting here at Analytics is what we call employability skills. Now you have the technical skills, but how do you stand out? Now, that is what we call our tested and trusted job offer formula. It's simple mathematics, right? Simple addition, your technical skills and then your employability skills. Because yes, you need to understand the technicalities. You need to know how to use the tools, but you also need to be able to stand out in the job market. Very competitive. So Heap said earlier, the cybersecurity space is very dynamic. So it's not something that you're just going to, go into unprepared. Now, how do you stand out in the job market? That is where your employability skills come into play. Now, here at Analytics, we offer 8 different employability services. The first one I already mentioned is revamping your CV for you. So we review your current CV and we're going to revamp it for you to make sure that your CV is ATS friendly, so that when you apply to jobs, right, your CV is able to scale past the applicant tracking system. Now, a lot of us on here don't know that there is something called the ATS that recruiters use, right? When you see job posting on LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, CV Monster, and so on and so forth, right? CV Library, Monster, and so on. You don't realize that the recruiters have used an ATS. Why? Because there's so many people that are going to apply to those jobs. Now, even people that are not qualified, people that don't really have a great CV would apply to that job. And in order for them to not waste their time, they don't want to really waste their time going through 1,000 CVs. So they use the ATS and they program the ATS to recognize certain words. So basically what they're saying is, if anybody submits their CV and that CV does not have this word, that word, fling it out. So a lot of us on here, we apply to jobs and we're like, God, please let this be the one, fingers crossed and all of that. And you don't even realize that the minute you click apply, there's one tiny machine in the background that just flings out your CV. So your CV actually never even gets to the eyes. Nobody sees your CV. No human being sees your CV. Once you apply, it's flung out because it does not qualify. Now, that's exactly why we're working on your CV for you. We have a team of professionals. This is their job. right? They're going to work on your CV for you, revamp it, and send it back to you so you can apply. Then we're also going to teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. All right. How do you optimize your LinkedIn profile? How do you strategically position yourself out there, build in public so that, yes, you're out there, you're applying to jobs, and then you also just get a text, a direct message, or like people in my generation like to call it a DM. You get a DM from a recruiter on LinkedIn, telling you that they're impressed with your profile and they would like to have a one-on-one discussion with you if you are open to it. And just like that, you've landed yourself an interview. Now, of course, that's not enough because you still need to get into the interview to sell yourself. And I'm coming to that shortly, but that gets your foot in the door. All right. And you can't get that if you don't optimize your LinkedIn profile. A lot of people landed jobs, through LinkedIn. Now, personally, I cannot remember the last time I applied to a job. And this is me being very honest. I get a lot of messages from recruiters, different recruiters, and I'm able to now select. I go and research your company and I say, okay, let me see what you have to offer. Now, it's because your LinkedIn profile is optimized. That's how you're able to grab the attention of recruiters. All right. Next, we move on to navigating the job market. Now we have professionals, seasoned professionals with years of experience. They come in and they tell you, what you need to do. Now, new territory, whether just migrated, maybe you just move from your country of origin to where you are currently, or even if you have been there for some years, but now you're venturing into cybersecurity, it's an unknown terrain for you. So we're going to bring professionals to tell you what to expect. Now, not just those professionals, we'll also bring people like yourself that have passed through the training, right? And not just passed through the training now, but they have gone on to land jobs successfully. All right. Now they'll come back and share their tips with you. Oh, this was what I did. People like Adetayo, people like Chukwebuka, they'll come back and tell you, this was what I did. Oh, and I was able to get a job in 3 months. I was able to get a job in 4 months. So by the time you're also ready to get into the job market, you have all of these tips that you can use to navigate. Next, we have interview preparatory sessions. So every time you get an interview, it doesn't matter. 50 interviews, 100 interviews, we're here to prep you every single time. So you book a one-on-one session with a professional here, and that person carries out like a mock interview, an interview simulation for you, tells you, okay, Olumide, so this company you're about to interview with, these are the likely questions that you would get. Now, Olumide, if they ask you this question, Dorcas, if they ask you this question, this is how you should respond. If they ask you this question, this is what you should say, right? So what that does is by the time you're going into the actual interview, your confidence is already boosted. I mean, at least you are 70% ready, you're able to navigate your responses. And that, of course, increases your chances of landing a job. Next, we have the job reference letter. So you land a job, we have revamped your CV, we have optimized your LinkedIn, you've done interviews, you've landed the job. You're not out of the woods yet. A lot of these big companies, they always want you to provide a reference to say, okay, can you submit the name of a company you've worked with or worked at in the past, that can recommend you, and, just they want to be sure that you're who you say you are. And in situations like that, we can also provide you with a reference or a recommendation letter. All you have to do is put down our name or the name of our partner company. I'm Dari, and we'll be more than happy, the CEO will be more than happy to write to that company and say, yes, I know Olumide, he worked with us, he consulted with us, and, I can vouch for his integrity. Then we have on-the-job support. Now, this is not really common, but, when you land a job, a lot of people, after 8 months, they are more than prepared, they're more than ready. But for some people, everyone is different. For some people, if you still need support, especially that first month on the job, you don't really know, what's going on. You don't really know how to go about certain tasks. You can always come back to us here at Analytics, book a one-on-one session, free, absolutely free, by the way. Book a one-on-one session and we will provide that guidance and on-the-job support that you need. Next, we have the weekly mentorship sessions. Now, like the name implies, every single week you get mentors that come on board to come and just walk you through, just mentor you and keep you in the right headspace. And then finally, we have the Upwork optimization sessions. Now, these are sessions for people who are looking to freelance. So you might not want to necessarily, get a full-time job with one company. You want to be able to freelance. We're also going to teach you how you can leverage your Upwork profile, how you can optimize your Upwork profile to be able to land jobs. All right. Like I said earlier, the duration of this program is 8 months. So you have 6 months learning in class and then 2 months of internship. All sessions, all classes are always recorded and you have lifetime access to them. All right, now what are the next steps? What are the next steps that you need to take to thrive in 2026? Now, what you need to do is join our next cohort starting on the 6th of December. Now, if you're still here with me, I have good news for you. All right, so 10Analytics right now, part of our CSR, we're trying to give back to the community. I know I have a couple of people on here that have been following 10Analytics for a while now, and because of the pricing of the program, they've just not taken the leap that they needed to take. All right, so let's see. If you have questions for me in the chat, if you have questions for me, feel free to put them in the chat as well. All right, so right now we are offering a 50% scholarship for 150 people. All right, 150 people get to pay half price. Just 150 people, that's all. 150 people get to pay half price, and you are also able to split your payments for as many as 4 months. Now, the actual pricing of all of our programs here at 10Analytics is $1,000 US. However, if you're part of the lucky 150, you get to pay $500 instead. All right, that's a whooping 50% off. Now, this is so close to the festive period, festive season. You get an extra $500 to buy yourself and your family gifts. All right. Now, like I said, you're able to split your payments for as many as 4 months. Remember, I said this discount or this scholarship is only available to 150 people. Now, what that means is once 150 people pay right now, it's over. Okay. And right now we have had about 93 people already registered. Again, the 50% scholarship is available for the first 150 people to register. Now, let me show you just how to secure your spot. My colleagues are already in the chat dropping the link. Now, if you can hear the sound of my voice right now and you would like to start your learning journey next in December, what you need to do is click on that link and go ahead to the program. Now, once you click on the link, this is what you're going to see. You see a list of all the programs we offer here at 10Analytics. You want to make sure you're not distracted by the noise, all right? Just identify your program of interest. In your case, cybersecurity. So once you identify the cybersecurity program right here, you want to click on Buy Now for cybersecurity. Now, once you click on Buy Now, it opens up every single thing you need to know about the program description, course description, the curriculum, everything that you need to know. You're able to see all the different case studies, all the different practicals and projects that you get to work on. You see your course instructors as well, the job opportunities available to you and so on. Now, right here, you just want to click on Enroll Now if this is something that interests you. So you click on Enroll Now and you are going to be asked to create a free account. It's going to take minutes, your email address and your phone number. Now, once you do that, you will be able to confirm your enrollment. Now, you can see that the 50% discount is already applied. Now, for people who are saying, oh, it's the festive period, I'm not sure I'll be able, I have a lot of things planned, for December. You are also able to register in advance for January. Now, full disclosure, by January, the pricing of the program goes to $1,200. So for people who are thinking, I'll wait till next year to register, just know you're going to be paying $1,200, right? And then for people who are not able to get in with the 150, you're going to be paying $1,000. So my advice to you right now, you're able to register in advance. Like I said, you can either register for the next class starting on the 6th of December, or you register for the one starting on the 10th of January. All right. Regardless of the class you register for, you're still able to utilize the discounts as long as you are among the 150 people. Then you come to the payment options. Here, like I mentioned earlier, you're able to split your payments for times. What that means, a one-time payment, one-off, and just forget about it. You can pay in 2 installments, you can pay in 3 installments, or in 4 installments. If you choose 4 installments, yes, you're going to be paying $500 US, but what it means is with $125 right now, you're in and you're able to start your classes next month. right? That's exactly what it means. With $125, you're able to start classes and you get the full benefits of the program while you make installmental payments. All right. So you're able to secure your spot. You don't have to pay it all at once. Now, for people who are making a one-off payment, like a full payment or a 2 installmental payment, they get an extra discount. So they get to pay $475 instead, right? Only for people paying once or twice, $475. Now, if you start to split your payments for more than 2 times, so 3 times or 4 times, you'll be paying $500, but not to worry, you're able to pay it in installments. So you just select the payment plan that is most suitable for you. Now, right here, because I know I have people from all over the world joining. Right here, you have your currency selector. So you would also be able to choose the currency you want to pay in. Now you're going to see this displayed according to your local currency. So if you're joining from Korea, for example, you see it in your local currency. If you're joining from Canada, you see it in Canadian dollars. If you're joining from Zimbabwe, you see it. But if you want to, pay it maybe with a USD card or you have a pounds card, you can just come to this currency selector here and change the currency. And there you have it. I just switched it to pounds. I can go ahead to switch it to euros as well. I just switched it to euros. I can switch it to Naira. So for people on here joining from Nigeria, you have that option available to you as well. All right. So once you select the installmental payments that best suit you, you want to click on apply discounts. Click on apply discounts. It's just going to take a minute to load up, and then you're able to see how much you are saving. You're able to see how much you're saving. Instead of $1,000, you're paying $500. And here's the breakdown of how you're going to be making the installmental payments. All right. So you just want to go through this information, confirm that your information is correct, and go ahead to pay with your card. And just like that, you are in. So remember, limited slots, okay? It's not for everybody. Certainly, everybody cannot leverage this. BBT says, if I decide to make 2 installment payments, but not ready to start now, not until February or March, is it possible? So the limit right now is February. So you are able to register for the January class and defer till February, okay? So yes, you can go with the 2 installmental payments, register right now, register for January, and then on your dashboard, because like I said, you'll be added to a learning management system, you can then defer to February, okay? That's for BBT. Sorry, I don't know your actual name. Let's see if I have more questions. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to put it in the chat, anything related to pricing, payments, how you can go about it. If it's not clear, put it in the chat. But like I said, my colleagues, I can see my colleagues already dropping the link. I said, Luashe, just drop the link, to enroll. So just click on that link, and go ahead to make your payments and just enroll, get the full access, and then kickstart your learning journey. All right. So like I said, we're going to end the session here, but that does not mean that we still don't have a lot of wonderful things on my slide. So you want to make sure that you fill the attendance form, go ahead to get the slides, get the recording of the session so that you're able to see all the wonderful resources, all the success stories that we have linked on the slides. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. I see no one else has a question for me. So thank you so much for joining in today. Please enjoy the rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you, each and every one of you actually, in class either December, January, or February. Thank you so much, and bye for now.